Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be the review for Dungeons & Dragons issue 72. I believe this is our final notebook and propelling pencil. So come and join me on the desk and we will have a look through.
Hey lovely sexy hobby people. Right, Dungeons & Dragons issue 72. We get another notebook and a propelling pencil again. These aside and then let's have a look, shall we? Creating drama. Create heartwarming, heart-wrenching or life-affirming moments with our impassioned guide to crafting emotional scenes. Your favourite movies, books, TV series and games are full of memorable moments of sacrifice, passion and heroism. And if you want your D&D games to be the kind that your players remember for years to come, you need to empower them to create emotional moments of their own. Obviously, the drama of heroic battles is part and parcel of a D&D campaign. Life or death struggles make for great stakes, but there are opportunities for moments of character and emotion both on and off the battlefield. An unexpected death by passion, perhaps, or a shocking revelation such as a trusted ally who turns traitor. A rousing speech before a battle, a declaration of love, or a tearful farewell. You can use game mechanics to create the opportunity for those moments, like forcing one player to choose between using their action to catch a necromancer fleeing with a magic artifact or saving a dying ally. But it's the role of the players to turn these moments into emotional storytelling. As such, they can be tricky to execute, so here are our tips for bringing a bit of drama to your game. Cool. Know your players. I don't think that the Dungeon Master I had in my last game really knew us. We'd all turn around and said, we'd all turn around and said that we were there to have fun, you know, but I think she had other ideas as to how D&D was to be played, and unfortunately it's, you know, despite us saying, look, we don't like this aspect on many occasions, she kept bringing up that aspect in the game. Right, keep it player character driven, time it well, let it happen naturally, go with the moment and build up to it. Cool. Deck of Many Things, Part 1. For a magic trick that can make or break a campaign, pick a card, any card. Deck of Many Things. Right, for decades, Dungeon Masters have used this infamous deck of cards in their games, often with explosive results. Characters found themselves whisked off to extra-dimensional prisons, been slain by death itself, lost levels and earned the enmity of powerful fiends. But they've also gained vast wealth or a stronghold of their own, rewound time to reverse disaster, or suddenly advanced in level beyond their fellow party members. Deck of Many Things. Usually found in a box or pouch, this deck contains a number of cards made of ivory or vellum. Most, 75% of these decks have 13 cards, but some have 22. Use the appropriate column of the table overleaf when randomly determining cards drawn from the deck. Before you draw a card, you must declare how many cards you intend to draw and then draw them randomly. Any cards drawn in excess of this number have no effect. Otherwise, as soon as you draw a card from the deck, its magic takes effect. You must draw each card no more than 1 hour after the previous draw. If you fail to draw the chosen number, the remaining number of cards fly from the deck on their own and take effect all at once. Once a card is drawn, it disappears. Unless the card is the Fool or Jester, the card reappears in the deck, making it possible to draw the same card twice. Once the Fool or Jester has left the deck, re-roll on the table if that card comes up again. So here we are, real deal card. So it looks like you roll a D100. And you've got two columns here for a D100 and a D20. A D13 card deck. Get it right, and a 22 card deck, and it tells you what it is. So you can do it with playing cards, and then it tells you what it is here. So you can literally source these playing cards if you so wish. And then obviously you just refer to this table. Now obviously there's gaps here in the 13 deck, which are cards that you don't have because they're in the 22 deck. I like the idea of the 22 deck. Kiss of Death. If a player draws the skull card, you'll need the following stat block. See Deck of Many Things Part 2 for more information. Avatar of Death. Medium, undead, neutral, evil. Armor class 20. Hit points. Half the hit point maximum of its summoner. Speed 60 feet. Fly 60 feet. Hover. Strength is 16 plus 3. Dex is 16 plus 3. Con is 16 plus 3. They're all 16 plus 3 basically. Damage immunities, necrotic and poison. Condition immunities, charmed, frightened, paralysed, petrified, poisoned, unconscious. Senses, dark vision, 60 feet. True sight, 60 feet. Passive perception, 13. Languages, all languages known to its summoner. Challenge, 0 XP. I'm going to need to look up that. I'll look that up. Traits, incorporeal movement and turning immunity. Actions, reaping scythe. Okay, let's try not to draw that one then. Deck of Many Things Part 2. Did you pick wisely or choose poorly? It's the knight at the end of Indiana Jones and the Great Crusade. Last Crusade even. Consult the effects below to find out. Balance. So this goes into more detail as to what the cards are. So balance, for example, your mind suffers a wrenching alteration causing your alignment to change. Lawful becomes chaotic, good becomes evil, and vice versa. If you are true neutral or unaligned, this card has no effect on you. Flames, a powerful devil becomes your enemy. The devil seeks your ruin and plagues your life, savouring your suffering before attempting to slay you. The enmity lasts until either you or the devil dies. Okay. Sage, at any time you choose within 1 year of drawing this card, you can ask a question. In meditation, mentally receive a truthful answer to that question. Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with wisdom on how to apply it. Moon, you are granted the ability to cast the wish spell 1d3 times. That's brilliant. Jester, you gain 10,000 experience points, or you can draw 2 additional cards beyond your declared draws. Then we're coming into character creation, and they're talking about multi-classing. Multi-classing allows you to have 2 different classes attached to your character. So you could be a soldier, but also or a fighter rather, but also a cleric, for example, you know, or you could be an artificer with a ranger class. So yeah, there are conditions that need to be met in order to multi-class, and when you, if I remember rightly, when you multi-class, you can only level up 1 class at a time. So for example, if you might have leveled up 20 times, but your class, so you might be a class 11 fighter, sorry, a level 11 fighter, but only a level 9 druid. And that's kind of like how it works. Proficiency bonus, class features, yeah, and gaining a level. In D&D Adventurer, we used the milestone rules to level up characters. As you've played through the series of encounters, we've provided the characters have leveled up when they reach a certain point, instead of totaling up experience points to determine their level. If your DM is using the XP system, use the table below to determine when your character gains a new level. The experience point cost required to gain a level is based on your total character level, not your level in a particular class. For example, a 6th level cleric, first level fighter must gain enough XP to reach 8th level before you can take the 2nd level as a fighter or your 7th level as a cleric. Multi-classing part 2. Master the arcane arts by blending the power of different kinds of spellcasters. Talks about cantrips. And then it gives you your spell slots that you can use. Now, I went with Eldritch Knight with my female fighter as my one of the levels that I had. I could choose between being a battle master, I think it was, or an Eldritch Knight or something else. So I chose Eldritch Knights, and then I had to refer to the chart to see what spell slots I get at each particular level. Law B, Elementals. Elementary, my dear adventurer, these summoned creatures are are as powerful and dangerous as the primordial forces that embody them. The elemental planes are places of cosmic power, and elementals, those spirits native to those planes, can be as difficult to overcome as the natural forces they represent: air, earth, fire, water. As embodiments of these energies, all elementals possess special properties of movement and do not require air, food or sleep. In addition, they are immune to damage from non-magical weaponry, as well as many conditions that rely on having mortal biology. Air elementals. Fleet and fierce as the wind itself, air elementals shape themselves into the form of a cyclone. Earth elementals. With fashioned bodies of dirt and stone, these elementals also contain whatever else they pulled from the ground when summoned, including hunks of metal, tufts of grass, even buried gemstones, and I'm going to assume bones and things like that then. While they tread heavily forward, they are also able to burrow as quickly as a purple worm, and due to their magical nature, do so without even disturbing the ground as they pass through it. Water elementals. Rising as sentient waves, water elementals are able to flow past obstacles and obstructions and wash over an opponent in an effort to drown them. They're also able to swim at speeds faster than any other aquatic creature, including sharks or even kraken. While a water elemental can crash against opponents, it can also drag them down into its own body as well. Fire elementals. As living, walking flames, fire elementals are an absolute hazard wherever they're summoned. Their mere presence is enough to immediately combust nearby materials and emit vast amounts of heat and light. Even walking through a given street could quickly set an entire city district ablaze. That's not good. Right, lore. The companions of the hall. Drizzt and his compatriots are as legendary a party as you'll ever meet. Drizzt Do'Urden, with a shock of white flowing hair and black skin, Drow Ranger Drizzt is an exile from the city of Menzo Barazan and a fugitive from the wrath of Loth and her priests, wielding dual scimitars named Icing Death and Twinkle, and with his ranger companion Guenoir, a spectral panther, padding alongside him. He is the central figure in the companions of the hall. So there you go. Bruenor Battlehammer, Regis, Wulfgar, and Catty Bree, an auburn-haired, blue-eyed woman with a kind, tolerant and pragmatic personality. Catty Bree uses her common sense and insight to guide both Dritz and Wolfgar into wiser actions. Her mother died in childbirth and her father moved them to Tourmaline, one of Icewind Dale's 10 towns. When Clan Battlehammer defeated the goblin horde that killed her father, Bruenor adopted the orphaned girl. Catty Bree and Dritz married after adventuring together. Much more than simply Dritz's wife or Bruenor's adopted daughter, Catty Bree fights fiercely alongside the other companions. Her bow, Taul Maril, the Heartseeker, has a limitless supply of arrows, and her evil sentient blade, Kazid Hay Cutter, can slice through solid stone. There you go, I like her. Bones of the Past. This adventure is balanced for 5th level characters. Players can use the pre-generated character sheets, blah blah blah. Okay, encounter background. Neverwinter is under siege. Undead have invaded the city, and it's only through the collective forces marshalled by the characters that the city continues to put up a fight. As a strange cold settles over Neverwinter, the Doom Guides of Kelemvor have been battling stronger shadow creatures. Introduced last encounter. Had a vision of a vile shadow creature hidden away beneath Castle Never. The creature has been responsible for summoning and controlling the powerful shadows that haunt the city, mistrusting the other members of Neverwinter Council. She told no one about her planned investigation into the castle's dungeons. This won't have any unforeseen consequences, right? After the High Priestess departure, the remaining Doom Guides sent for the characters. Encounter goals. The characters must enter Castle Never, find the High Priestess and defeat the undead abomination stalking the halls. Yeah, nothing to it. Piece of piss. Right, war map setup. So we're using the war map again. Meeting the Doom Guides. Travel through Neverwinter. At Castle Never. The High Priestess. Completing the encounter. And then you have Keotom's Ointment, Doom Guide Acolyte, that's this individual. We have the War Priest, Flame Strike, 5th level Evocation, Banishment, 4th level Abjuration, Guardian of Faith, 4th level Conjuration, and other spells here. So for Light, Spare the Dying and Command, see Spellbook Part 1. For Hold Person and Lesser Restoration, see Spellbook Part 2. For Dispel Magic and Revivify, see Spellbooklet Part 3. For Termaturgy, see Encounter 20. And then Skeletal Juggernaut, and then Shadow. So that's the mag. So yeah, we've seen these. You know, we don't get a lot of spare lead in these. We get 1. I'm assuming it's going to be about 0.5 lead, 0.5 millimeter. But that's your notebook. And yeah, so it works. You know, what more can you say? Handy. I keep these handy just in case somebody needs a notebook in our party. They turn up to a night and they haven't got one. But there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. That was Dungeons and Dragons issue 72. Hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Alright, take care. Bye bye.